understand who you talking about.
He got his blue mixed up.
Ah, but you know what?
Respecting that yo, but it's today. Otherwise, it's hilarious.
Jackson played that. Jackson played that well. Jackson played that well. I gotta give credit where credit's due. They were where they were supposed to be. They played that well, but he still had room in a weird way. I think. Let me see. Let me see if he still had a little room to run. Let me go back.
You talking about the quarterback?
Yeah. Let me see.
Yeah, it looks like the linebacker is coming to get him.
Oh
Right.
yeah.
So if you look,
Yeah,
the,
it looked like
the
he was
linebacker
skying
drops
him.
down. He's coming to get him right there.
Yeah, he
So
was skying him. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's gonna meet him.
yeah, he
Yeah,
would have got.
I think you just got to eat that though. I mean, to me, you just got to eat that. And
But
like
that's not. But I mean, yeah, that's the one you got to you got to look at. But he had a guy over on the sideline. But it's hard the Monday morning quarterback in this
for
situation to
sure.
say where his eyes should have been and all that stuff like that. I guess he was trying to
Mhm.
make a play, but man, that's tough.
Yeah,
Good
that's
play,
tough.
good play by the safety.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough one. It's definitely one that I know he wants back, obviously, because at the end of the day, you know, they were in a great position again. You put points on the board there. Well, now you're in a position to where you can possibly, you know what I'm saying, get some more points on the board and possibly win this game, right? You know what I'm saying? So obviously it's something they want to get back. But I just think, to me, when you're talking about um, from the quarterback position and Bill especially, right? Obviously I was in the play quarterback, right? But obviously just from an offensive standpoint of looking at things, the first thing you really come into the line to do, right, is try to recognize what the defense is in, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, because to me, is kind of clear that they got two safeties over top, right? You know what I'm saying? So even though your receiver's drifting there, it's like you see that, okay, they gave you a two safety look over top. So you know what I mean? Somebody's there, right? I know obviously it's like I say, Monday morning quarterback, and it's in the moment, you know what I mean, of the game. But I think that's why he tapped himself, right? Because he realizes like, hey, that's not a throw I should make. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
you
yeah,
sometimes
he thought about it.
sometimes the best throw is no throw. Sometimes the best throw is throwing the ball into the ground. You know what I'm saying? And I just think here, uh, I just think that's the reality is
I
that
mean, because it's the defense job to try to confuse you. And a lot of these covers, they pretty much the same. It's just alignment based upon the actual coverage itself. I mean, I'm not talking about coverage itself. The coverage is based upon the alignment. It could be a cover two. It could be showing something else. It could be Tampa. I'm not saying it in specific, but most people when you see two safe, they believe it's cover two, but there are different ways you can play it.
Yeah,
So it's because the first thing I'm coming out is I'm looking at the shell, see what I have. I'm looking at the safeties, I'm looking at the corners, and I'm looking at that curl right there. He had the curl. I'm looking at the top, he had the curl. It'd have been 10 yards, give him an opportunity to make somebody miss. So when I'm looking at stuff like that, I'm looking at the alignment I'm looking at the safety or the DB's alignment based upon where I'm lined up at. And then I'm looking for the safeties. I'm looking for the backers and stuff inside the box. So
yeah,
yeah, you can see. You can take it out from this view too as well. Um, Again, right when you look, this is at the snap, right? At the snap, you see both safeties with their feet on the 6 yard line right there.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the safeties are there. You know, they ain't it shouldn't have surprised you per se, right? You know what I'm saying? Now what were you just looking at, Bell? That you were saying?
I'm saying that if you look at the top, if you see, so basically, I don't know if this was a running back up into the top right. The running back over there basically
let
ran
me
a
back, I
flat
can
or
back it up.
out.
I can
And
back
then
it up.
you
We can see.
Yeah, so basically, usually that's like we'll call it hammer. Hammer is usually a 20-yard curl, and then you have a 5 yard out.
oh,
Some
okay,
people just call it curl, where you have a flat, where you pulling that linebacker out of the box, or that, yeah, okay, where we are right now, say at the top, you're gonna see a guy that's gonna pretty much run the curl route, if I'm not mistaken. Play it liner. So
All
the
right.
job so you got the number one outside, and then you have the number two in the slot. So the slot guy, based upon from what I've seen, just a little bit of it, the snippets, is his job is to pull that guy out of the box. So once he pulls him out of the box, it allows the
Sure,
curl. It allows the curl to come behind him in the right behind him. Because now the linebacker has to make a linebacker or the DB has to make a decision. Is he gonna stay on the curl or is he gonna stay on the flat? Because if he stays on the curl, then the quarterback's supposed to throw that ball to the flat. If he goes with the flat, which he pretty much turned his back, that ball should be right now coming to the curl. That's why he had his hands up.
Now, another thing, right, to pay attention to here, and I let this roll, and then we'll get to the backside view, right? It looks like the nose on this play, right? Now,
Yeah,
typically it's Jeremiah Williams, right? The nose beat three guys, right?
Right.
And you can look at it here, right? You know what I'm saying? He beats the center. You know what I mean? So he also ain't had time. He probably that threw his timing off right there, right? I'm just saying he gotta eat the ball. He gotta eat the throw right now instead of making the throw, right? You trying to play hero ball, you don't need to play hero ball, right?
Nah, when you got the lead, you save the lead.
You're playing against a team that's better than you.
Catch up.
You're playing against a team that's better than you. You in the game, right? You just gotta eat this, and you gotta take the 3 points or take the shot at getting 3 points. That's what I'm saying, right? Because this play turns into the gargantuan of what happened, right? This is like the momentum swinger that you don't come back from. You know what I'm saying? Because Jackson scored before the end of the half after this, right? You know what I'm saying? So, so first of all, shouts out to Jeremiah Williams, right, for making a play here, because obviously, like I say, he kills Southern's offensive line on this play just by
he's
himself,
hard to block,
right?
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, Rocky, he's flat-footed, probably because the DB coach is probably telling them not to give up so much ground. Because the further you back up, that gives the offense an opportunity to be able to potentially make that play and score.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So they probably told him to keep their heels. You probably heard the saying, keep your heels at the 10 or keep your heels at a certain portion, not to give unless he makes you to give up ground.
Yeah, man. So this was the next play though that I thought was a huge play, because to me this changed the momentum in this game. You know, the game, as you see the score, right, it's 13-10 with less than 2 minutes left in this half. But after this, man, Jackson started to roll, and listen, it ain't look pretty it didn't look pretty for Southern for the rest of the year. Okay, not just
that was a chance. That was a chance.
Not just the rest of the game, right? But it didn't look pretty for Southern for the rest of the entire year,
no,
right? You know what I'm saying? Oh man, it was over from there, right? You know what I'm saying? So now, next one I want to go to, man. Let me see if I can get this one up. Because I think, let me see if I can pull this up. But in the Prairie View versus Alcorn game, man, man, which was from an offensive standpoint, bro. You talking about an ugly game? that was an ugly game, right?
Yeah, we had 11 against 13 because we definitely had some plays that I don't know. They only would be called like that at Alcorn. Some of those penalties.
Yeah, why was he looking at the boundary? Who are you talking about? Quarterback on that play? Are you talking about the quarterback on that play, Rocky? EA says SWAC quarterbacks are atrocious. It's so good. And listen, man, quarterbacks in every conference make good plays. They make bad plays.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So
some of them SEC quarterbacks can be atrocious too. Now, let's not get too high.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying. Exactly. So Rocky asks, why was he looking at the boundary, Bill? I mean, you got any thoughts on that?
Why was who looking at the boundary?
I think you're talking about the QB.
Oh, I don't know why he was looking there. Well, he probably, you know what it is? It's probably his read. Because you pretty much go to 1 to 2, because it could potentially be a triangle read for him to read where he's going. So, like I showed you before, now you see he probably saw the flat, but once that defensive tackle got in his face, it hurried up his read.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because the flat was open.
Yeah. So because it's curled or flat. So think about it. Think about it in a triangle. Think about it in a triangle sense. You know, you got your read with him. Okay, you got your read. Yeah, he got hurried on that. That's one of them plays. I mean, his offensive line didn't do him any justice. I think he was rushed that play. He was rushed that play.
That's without a doubt.
Yeah, particularly you have reads that you have to go through progression, and sometimes, like I said, it's a reaction game, so you have to react. So I mean, that curl was, if you ask me, the curl was the best route for him to throw.
They had one route and 3 defenders.
Yeah, he did. He did have 3 defenders.
Rocky, that's why we dropped the link, because you can share your thoughts. You know what I'm saying? He said that was a bad read by the QB. Right.
Yeah, well.
All right, so moving on to the next play real quick. So we won't stay on that one too long. All right, so this is Kennedy Parker, sacked by Kennedy Parker. This is the Alcorn State game, right? Again, if you remember the game, 13-12 victory by Prairie View. You know what I'm saying? Should have been looking to the field pre-snap, he says. If you look at this game, man, listen, it was a nip and tuck game. Hard fought game. Alcorn really came to play. Both defenses stepped up. It was definitely a bad day offensively. But man, the defense really, and by the way, the play before this was a play where really it was one that could end the game. And man, Sterling Roberts had a clear shot at making the tackle, but went for the ball as Alcorn had a bad snap. And man, he got out of there, threw the ball downfield. And that was the biggest pass play all game, and got Alcorn to scoring territory, because they really didn't do anything other than one drive earlier in the first half. That was basically it. So it was crazy that we was being put in this position when it was like, man, the defense just played solid all game. You know what I'm saying? It was just a play that broke down. But third down right here, man. This is a loss on a sack by Kennedy Parker. And really, this is the play, man, that honestly I think saved this game. You know what I'm saying?
13-12. What a nail biter.
You've got 6'3", 385-pound Tyron Warren lined up near side here for Tolbert. Tolbert under pressure. He'll go down.
Oh,
what
man.
A play.
Great job. Great defense. Great pass rush. Tyron.
Kennedy Parker on the play for the
graduate. From Macon, Georgia. Comes in on the blitz. Right there. Right up the middle. And great job.
That was, again, Kennedy Parker. I'll play it one more time.
(13-12).
Coming off the edge.
What a nail biter.
You've got 6'3", 385-pound Tyron Warren lined up near side here for Tolbert. Tolbert under pressure. He'll go down. What a play.
Great job. Great defense. Great pass rush. Tyron.
Kennedy Parker on the play for the
graduate. From Macon, Georgia. Comes in on the blitz. Right there. Right up the middle. And great job.
All right. And then I'm going to show you guys the other angle as well. But what's your thoughts, Mickens, on this pass rush, man, to save the game by Kennedy Parker?
Well, that's when I felt like we actually saw the 212 that I remember, defense that I remember seeing in the spring game. If you got third in any kind of distance, it was going to be pressure from somewhere, but never the same spot. And the speed of Kennedy Parker, because I did not believe he could get there, but he got around that big offensive tackle, and it was yeah, that was a really, really good play. And that did save the game because it would have he had a good look at the receiver running up the left side. I couldn't see if he was open or not.
Now, obviously, they really stressed Alcorn's, offensive line on this play. And I see Rocky joining.
Oh, there's Rocky.
You gotta turn your background down, Rocky.
Oh,
Okay. But yeah, you when you look at this, they really stress, Alcorn's offensive line right here, right? You know what I'm saying? Because they came with it. You know what I'm saying? They sent the 3 linebackers as well. I mean, they sent the 2 linebackers and they sent Randall off the edge. You know what I mean? So it was a true 1-on-1 for Kennedy Parker, and he just had to beat him off the edge, and thankfully he got there, right? Because at the end of the day, this is going to be 1-on-1 coverage. Even though, I mean, he got, and if you look at the top right there, if you look right there on the hash, I mean, hey man, that's game.
Yeah, that's game. He was got.
You know what I'm saying? You look right there on the hash, that's game, right? You know what I'm saying? So obviously it was a great play call, you know what I'm saying, from defense aside, but it's also just a great 1-on-1 play, you know what I'm saying? But Bill, what's your thoughts, man? I'm hearing some feedback. I don't know if Bill is that's you. I don't know who.
That's not me.
I think it might be Bill.
Hey, he had some gunpowder in his grits. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I heard you say had gunpowder in his grits.
I'm not sure if you can hear me or not.
Yeah, I can hear you, Bill. I can hear you.
But he had, I don't know if you can hear me or not, but he had some gunpowder in his grits. You can hear me? Okay. Yeah, man. Yeah, man, he just made a play. Hey, he just made a play.
Yeah. Rocky, what's your thoughts?
But that's the speed, man. That goes to show you, man, we got some speed on the edge.
Yeah. And DBs with a little bit of size, a smaller DB wouldn't have beat that offensive tackle like that. So that's why in the 212, your DBs got to be, have some size to them, almost interchangeable with the safeties and linebackers got to be almost interchangeable because you never know when you're going to need them to come off the edge like that.
I would also add that he wasn't looking for the route that was open, and that's one reason why the safety went over to that other team route, because he was looking right at the one that was.
Look at it.
Oh, let's see.
Yeah, just look at it. He never gets back. He never gets back to the right. He's looking left.
He's looking to the left.
Yeah, he's looking, and that's what brings the safety over there. So
he never gets back to the right.
I got you. And that's interesting. See, because you talked about Strauser too on that play in the Jackson game.
Are we on something in the back? Somebody's background?
Yeah, I hear somebody's background. Mine's on mute.
There's got to be probably Bell there.
I can't hear you background, Lionel.
Bill, can you hear me?
I don't think he can hear you.
He listening to us on the TV,
but we can't hear you on
his phone for some reason.
Yeah, I guess he's gonna come back in.
Yeah, but
hey, are you listening to it on the TV or are you listening through your phone?
Oh, he might want to double check the speaker he's using on StreamYard. Because I know I had to change.
We're gonna figure it out. But go ahead. Let me try to figure it out.
Hey, Coach, let me ask you this here, Coach. You've been in this conference a while, and you defended many quarterbacks, right? I've only been watching SWAC the last 5 years, and I'm gonna say this: there's been spotty quarterback play in the last 5 years, to say the least. How would you rank the quarterback play the last 5 years based on what you had seen in previous years in the SWAC?
Who that's for? Mickens or me?
No, I was asking Coach Northern that.
Coach is not on right now.
He didn't make it today. Yeah.
Oh, that's Mickens. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. My bad.
He saw the
Coach.
ball head. He saw the ball head. He just
My
Oh,
bad.
yeah, the ball head. That's
Yeah,
right.
my bad, brother.
I gotta get a little bigger.
that is
I apologize,
hilarious.
No.
That's so funny.
But how would you look at the quarterback play in comparison to what it once was prior to COVID? Like, I've been watching ever since COVID, and the quarterback play has been kind of shoddy. But before historically, how does the most recent 5 years compare to what was quarterback play in the SWAC? Because in my opinion, SWAC was always known for putting up points and high flying offenses, and we hadn't seen a lot of that the last 5 years.
Yeah, I think also the defenses have gotten a lot more aggressive, but quarterback play since COVID, it has been depending on the team. Some of the quarterbacks, depending on the team, have not been what I would say considerably bad. I know with Prairie View in the last 5 years, our quarterback play was affected by depth. This is the most competition we've had at QB has been these last 2 years. Before that, we didn't have much depth at quarterback. And I know with other teams, if their starter goes down, like you saw with Alabama A&M last year, when the starter went down, that just tanked the season. So a lot of teams are running with that one quarterback that can actually go, and the other guys are, basically just use if you have to break the glass to use, like a fire extinguisher. But for the most part, depth has been really what has gotten quarterback play in the last 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, when I first came into watching the SWAC football consistently, I was really excited because I had seen these highlights of this guy by the name of Felix Harper, right? I seen him in 2019. He seemed like he was sensational that year. Comes back in 2021, and he doesn't even look like he's the same quarterback based on production. I don't know what happened. You know what I mean? They didn't play in the spring, this, that, and other. Just seemed like, it seemed like every school to some degree have had some struggles at the quarterback position, in my opinion. But it is the hardest position in football. So I guess
it is the hardest position in football. That's what fact. You know what I'm saying? Said, but then again, EA says there's just more reasons for improving quarterback play. HBCUs still recruit athletes instead of pure QBs. Yeah, well, I think there's, the most recognizable quarterback that come out the SWAC last time I checked was Steve McNair, and last time I checked, Steve McNair didn't just use his own. I don't think this is new. You know what I'm saying? So, we want somebody. A majority of teams want somebody that can do it both ways in this conference. That's just what it is. And that just didn't start. That just didn't start yesterday. And let's be real. Listen, I was in Grambling all the time when Bruce Eugene was there. Bruce Eugene kill you with your arm. Bruce Eugene also run you over too.
But let's say this. In my opinion, the offensive lines ain't that great. You better have somebody who can move in the SWAC.
That is another factor.
Yeah, that's another factor.
That is another factor.
And that might have been the difference for Felix, because that year you saw him that he was good. Their offensive line was pretty stout, and their defensive line would get them the ball back. So they were pretty tough in the trenches that year. And I know somebody that didn't need an offensive line was that Devontae Kincaid at Grambling. And man, once they inserted him, I think Kincaid, the reason Dooley has gotten as many jobs as he had, because man, he made him look like the best OC ever to come through the SWAC. He was really, really good. And so, those are, some people you want to you think about. You have seen some good quarterback play. KJ Black, you know, I remember you weren't in the SWAC yet, but Prairie View was down by 4 points with 25 seconds to go on their own side of the field. We were at the 28-yard line, and KJ won that game by 2 touchdowns with 25 seconds left. You know, it's we've seen some quarterbacks do some things in the SWAC, but
I think there's been, I think there's been solid quarterback play. I think the SWAC gets a bad rep because we also just don't play well out of conference. That's just the reality. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, that's
Because the truth is, if there was more dubs in some of these games, I don't think the same conversation would be happening there as we don't hear it from other places and from other conferences. I mean, we just looked at recently, right, seeing Jalen Morton, playing in the UFL, right? You know what I'm saying? Former Prairie View quarterback. Well, that team ain't win the SWAC championship. You know what I'm saying? That team did well offensively, though. Dooley had that team doing well offensively, but it's not like they won the SWAC title, right? You know what I'm saying? It's not. I don't think Jalen Morton was ever looked at as the best quarterback in the SWAC when he was in the conference, even, right? And yet he's the guy who years later is still playing professional ball, right? You know what I'm saying? So I think there has been some quality quarterbacks throughout the SWAC. I also think another big thing that we don't have a conversation about a lot of time is coaching and quarterback, you know what I'm saying? Especially quarterback coaches in the SWAC, right?
that part.
And the reality is, I think there's a lot of guys who have been talented in the SWAC. Man, I just look at KJ Cooper, just leave Texas Southern, go to USF. I mean, are them coaches at USF stupid, or or does he actually have talent that they believe they can mold and actually get use out of him if they ever need to use him? I think they actually see talent there that they believe I can coach him to go from this level to this level to win us games if need be, right? He may not be the most talented guy at USF, right? So I'm not saying he's going to see the field. I'm not saying he's the first or second or third guy, right? But he's talented enough for them to give him a roster spot.
That's right.
And that's a guy in the SWAC. And that's what I'm talking about. That's how I realized that, man, coaching accounts for a lot more than I think we give it credence for, because a guy in the SWAC we don't look at as the greatest quarterback last year in the SWAC conference. We don't probably think of him as the top 3 or 4 or 5 guy, right? But he just went to USF, right? You know what I'm saying? He got signed for USF, right? Because he got some measurables, because they look at his arm. And the reality is, too, right? KJ Cooper, Texas Southern had the most. They was tied with Prairie View for the most drops last year. Let's be clear. They dropped about 30 times. USF probably saying, listen, we got receivers that can catch the ball. So we ain't gonna have that problem. So my point is, though, right, I think there's also other factors. I think there are talented guys that come to the SWAC. I think we sometimes don't have everything we need in order to bring all of the talent out of the guys that we have. But let's keep it moving, right? Because it is about quarterback play, but we're going to talk about these top plays, right? You know, so I got a couple more plays we're going to roll through. This one here is big game, huge game, Vegas game, right? I got 2 plays in this game. This is the 4th down. This is the 3rd down play right here. You know what I'm saying? The 3rd and 12 play. This is the 3rd and 12 play, right? You know what I'm saying? And then is this the 3rd down play? Yeah, this is the 3rd down play, right? So, to get the first down. I mean, to get the ball in field goal range right here. And now this one doesn't get a first down, but it just gives them enough cushion to make this field goal a lot more comfortable, right? You know what I'm saying? I thought this was a huge play right here. Just picking up those 6 yards. Great catch.
Wow.
Great catch. Good throw. Escape the pocket right. Create some extra time. And it's a guy who's coming back and has an opportunity to play for Grambling again this year. I'm gonna run it back without the sound, right? So what are y'all thoughts, man, just on this play? Because again, obviously Grambling beat Jackson State on the 4th down play earlier, right? He beat them on the 4th down run and picked up the 10 yards to get the first down. I have that play too as well that I'm gonna run. But what was your thoughts here on just this? Only coming with the 3-man rush. Again, this was talked about a lot after the game of, should have Jackson have come, with another blitz again like they did earlier, right, in this same drive. But what was your thoughts here?
I think they thought they could flood the defensive backfield to where he wouldn't have an opening to make the throw. And I thought it looked like they
Man,
had
that's good
brought an extra
situational
guy.
football, man.
Yeah.
That's knowing where you are on the field, where you need to be,
Mhm.
and find the sideline. That's one of the main things that you were taught as a receiver. In this situation, is get to the sideline, try to get the first down. If you don't get the first down, get out of
At
bounds.
least get the
I think
yard.
for
Yeah.
them to be able to make this play this big because it sets you up for an opportunity to be able to have that extra play that you're looking to get. That's why you see TC right now in shambles in this situation because he know how big that catch
He
was on the
knew that was
sideline.
big. Yes, he did.
That's a great catch, great control from the receiver as far as the body concerned. That's a big play. Most people they're looking for the touchdowns in the first time, but that's a big play because he could have dropped that pass. He could have
Right.
dropped that pass, or he could have stepped out of bounds and not be aware. So I think, man, that's a heads up play, man.
It was a
Because when
tight
I'm coaching
window.
my guys, I'm telling them, say, hey, find the sideline. Because if you get the ball, now we got time to work with to maybe get that extra play or actually that kick. If he drops that pass, now we're looking at a situation where it goes from third and 8 versus it being 3rd and 1. So I think that's a heads up play for the receiver to catch that ball and get out of bounds.
So in my opinion, I think I agree with you that it was very good situational football, but I think they gave the quarterback an easy read. They gave him a two-way go, meaning that he could pass or run in that situation. And I think the best thing I don't think I think the yardage matters some, but I thought the most important thing about that play is that it stopped the clock and they didn't have to do the Chinese fire drill and get the kicker out there. They were able to get the
Yeah,
kicker
so they
out
was out
there.
of timeouts. They were out of timeouts.
Yeah,
They were
it
able to
was
get
no
the kicker.
timeouts.
They were able to get the kicker out there under comfortable conditions. It was going to be a tough kick anyway. But those six, I agree with you too, Lionel. Those 6 yards mattered, and I'll even say this from a momentum standpoint. To kick after a positive play, I think is important for the kicker and the team as well to have their spirits up, especially after what had happened to them up to this point. They had lost their quarterback coming down the stretch. It was a 4th and 10. The kid scrambles and gets 10 yards. I like I said, I think it was a tremendous play, and it was great situational football. And the coaches ran a play that flood in the zone play. Now the guy was open way before he threw it, but but I think ultimately him throwing on the run like that, it made it easy for him to throw to more of a stationary target. I think it gave him it lowered the degree of difficulty hitting a moving target versus hitting the guy standing on the sideline.
Yeah. And the defensive end, like they said, like EA said, he didn't square off. The defensive end kind of slanted in, so he was able to run right by him because the tackle, all he had to do was chip him to the inside. And with a quarterback like that, that's the last thing you needed to do is give him
He also could have ran the ball. Problem with running the ball, they wouldn't have been able to stop the clock. So
and because at the end of the day, they was out of timeouts, and you had to think about that. Like you say, you didn't want to have to rush them, on the field. Now this is the 4th down, the same drive, right? This is the 4th and 9. And I remember the conversation during that time about the 3rd down was because of what Jackson did here. So I don't know if you guys remember this play, but obviously there was a big scramble. They had run 3 plays and only got 1 yard. He just missed him right there, and he just beat the linebacker to the sideline. But big play by by Darrensburg at this point in time. But what's y'all thoughts here on what y'all see?
Both of them went outside. That was a mistake. Somebody should have came back inside on that.
Yeah, because it looked like it was a stunt, and he missed that stunt. He let them both get kicked out. Yep.
Because one guy ran out to play, the other guy got blocked out to play.
Yeah. See, right there, he should have came underneath the one in the pink.
The one, right. It was probably supposed to be maybe a stunt there, right? But And that, it shows you the game of inches, right, on where communication is big. And we talked about it the other week. We talked about T-Jack and what he shared about these schools up north and how, they just don't make mistakes, right? You know what I'm saying? They just are always in the right place at the right time. They're not necessarily the more talented, but, you didn't necessarily need to be the more talented player on that specific play if you're just in the right spot, right? You know what I'm saying? You give your team a better chance of winning this game and being able to make this play. Because, again, if he goes, like you say, inside instead of outside, where's Daresburg going at this point, right? You know what I mean? Just maybe taking a shot downfield and giving the receiver a chance. But I
always say this from a defensive standpoint. The defensive teams that can execute on third down and in critical situations are usually really good defenses. What you do on first and second down a lot of times is icing on the cake. But on third down and in those critical situations, fourth and short, things like that, those are the hallmarks and the staples of a great defense. And even though Jackson State probably has one of the better defenses in the conference, in this situation, you can't make that mistake. You just can't make that mistake in this situation.
No, that's big, man. That's big. That was a good point. That's really a good point.
And I'll say this. I'll even say this. If you go back to the SWAC championship game, I would dare to say there were more plays that looked like that Cam was able to make in the SWAC championship game. So obviously there were some things that they weren't just getting right about their run fits when it comes to that empty backfield, because Cam exploited them in a similar way, just running quarterback draw and just some really basic concepts in my opinion.
Yeah,
he was able to make. Well, he ran for like almost 100 yards, maybe over 100.
Yeah, a little bit over 100 yards. Yeah. And then EA here says outside linebacker totally missed the call on this play as well, because it looks like he was.
I think up front though, man, up front. That when we think about that championship game up front, even though he had some run lanes, but those were running lanes for a reason. There was some boys getting thrown up out the club for them to be able to run that way. And also you had some fits they didn't make. I mean, that's on both sides of the ball. But that game, it was just physically just move some guys up out the club.
No.
All right. Well, we're moving on to Bethune-Cookman here.
Rather who falls
huge
after
play
a 4-yard gain,
again.
so they got to move quickly. It's one
Florida
straight
A&M
Bethune
right
Cookman
here.
looking to break the streak. This is the play that could make the difference
And I mean-
in the game.
Oh, man.
I don't even understand
He was there
how you get this wide open.
I don't know where.
opportunity.
I don't even understand how you get this wide open. Right? You know what I'm saying?
Allen.
I
McClain
mean,
with
he
enough
stood there and waited
arm
on.
strength to get the ball to Josh Evans.
Yeah.
When a play like that, here's what I'll say about a play like that. You question, is a guy really trying to play?
Lionel, I'm not surprised.
That guy is throwing the game. Watch this. If you go back to the start of the play, he's already he's breaking on a route. Look at him. He's already
Yeah, I
he's
saw
trying
that.
to. What is he playing the short ball for? Like he's gonna break on a route. Wow.
And nobody ran the short route that he broke on. I didn't see the running back go to the flat or anything. I don't know what he was chasing.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Let me run it from the other angle, because
Must
I
have
think
missed
the other, we can probably look at it from the wide angle and maybe get a better perspective. So this is the wide angle right here, and I'll slow it down for you guys.
Yeah, that corner
Yeah,
guy.
that
corner has to carry that route. That's what that is.
Hey, you see him. You talk about jump, right? He definitely takes the receiver that's running that in breaking route right there, and I mean it's fourth down, right? I get it, right? So he might be thinking about, maybe he's thinking about the first down, whatever. But it's like, bro, the game they down by 4, right? Wasn't they down by 4?
They're 3, I think.
No, they were. Oh yeah, they were down by 3. You're right.
Yeah,
They were down by 3. 34-31.
31.
Yeah, but you can't give up the touchdown, I guess, right? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You look at him right here, and is that even his?
Are any of you guys coaches? Because tell me what defensive coverage this is. It's not one that I recognize.
I'm just trying to understand if that's even his zone, right? Like I'm kind of confused of why he even is jumping that end route in the first place.
It's not even a cover 2 the way he ran it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Bell, it looks like it's supposed to be cover 3. I mean, Bell, what are your thoughts here? I know you're the resident, champion.
Yeah, it should. This look like it's 3. Run it back.
I'm about to run it back.
Why is the corner in the flat if it's 3?
Because his eyes. Hold on, I can't. Let me go back and see.
It's coming up. It's coming up right now. I slowed it down so that way we can. All right, so
look at the corner. That would tell me if it's 3. If he bails, that would let me know that it's 3, right?
Right.
But yeah, because you can disguise it. You can definitely disguise it. And this other thing too, for us, we Monday morning quarterbacking it. And sometimes these guys are not getting where they're supposed to go. That's the hard part.
That's true. That is true. That is factual. You're right.
That's the hard part for us. Like right now, we already know once he's behind that corner, you would think, okay, I got deep third.
That's what I was thinking. That safety. Yeah.
Yeah, but somebody, that's a blown assignment. Somebody wasn't where they were supposed to be.
On this side, it looks like it may be like a match 4 on this side. You understand what I'm saying? Like, because you see how the corner is this corner going to carry this guy all the way down the
Which
field?
one? Which one? Is it 21, the bottom or the top?
Look at the 2. Oh, no. This is some type of junk coverage. Because this corner is shallow and the other corner is shallow. What is that?
Yeah.
But see, that safety should have took the deep third probably. And the other safety.
That's what I'm thinking.
What about, is there a guy above the guy in the
yes, there's a guy above 21.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 3 back.
That's somebody didn't do what they were supposed to do.
There's a guy above 20. So this the play at jump, right? So you see the safety on the seams, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The 2 safety on the seams. So the one on the left side, he's gonna jump out. He's gonna be out the picture. You see what I'm saying? So he's back there.
Yeah, he's gone now.
So
he's
passing them out. That's why I say to me it looks like he was supposed to take that other.
Hey, this is cover 2, guys. This is cover 2. This safety stayed on the hash. Why did he stay on the hash?
Yeah, that coming down. His assignment. Like I say, it's little too, because 2, you told to jam and funnel. You jam and funnel, but the difference is he never put hands on the 21 down at the bottom.
But why didn't the safety get depth? And the quarterback is pointing, and he still doesn't get depth.
He sure did point. Look, I just noticed that.
Hey, he ain't being a ball player.
Wow, he sure is pointing. I didn't even catch that.
Hey, but believe it or not, for most of us, and we sitting here looking, some of the times you can't see that stuff when you on the field.
Yeah, when you at field level. Yeah,
you can't level. You can't see it. Like you can't see that.
That's gonna be funny. I'm sorry.
I'm a defensive lineman when I play football, so I don't know anything about the secondary stuff. But a lot of times,
that's why we need Coach Northern.
Yeah, a lot of times now, Coach, I know a lot of times in these situations, right? Don't you like this guy's not getting any depth, but I guess he's spying the quarterback. I don't know what he's doing. The guy.
That's what it looks like, man.
The guy, the safeties bothers me because he's not getting depth. But this guy right here on the corner who's not guarding anybody, like I thought the rules were.
Who are you talking about? Are you talking about 45 at the top on the 30?
I'm talking about this guy. I'm talking about the guy you pointing at right here.
Right there.
I thought the rules were, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, if there's nobody that comes under you you keep getting deep if the guy goes vertical. If there's nobody, if you see nobody threatening your zone, you keep getting vertical. Is that the rule?
Yeah, you don't let nobody get behind you.
Yeah.
Not especially in this
No. What I'm
situation.
saying is he may have the flat, right? But there's nobody in the
Nobody
flat.
went that way.
So you don't give him the whole shot. Is what I'm saying is you keep giving him depth because if you're expecting a safety over the top, you want to make that whole shot as small as possible. As a quarterback, you don't want to give him that whole, the space in between the corner and the safety coming over the top.
You're saying no, not a linebacker.
Huh?
EA's response is no, not a linebacker. To me, this is interesting. This is why this is the coach question for sure, right?
He's lined up as a corner though. The guy
he wasn't a linebacker. He was a corner. Yeah.
And I think this is based on the fact that because you're right, he starts right here on the 35, right?
Now that's probably a linebacker right there that you're pointing at.
This is the same guy. This is the guy you're talking about though that drops back.
The guy I'm talking about is the other guy.
Him.
He doesn't get depth. He doesn't get.
Oh yeah, no. I agree with that, right? But then you're saying if you're talking about here, if no guys in the, if he dropped to the flat, right? If nobody is in the flat,
no,
you get depth.
Not him. He's hooked to curl.
I get you. All right, so you're talking about him right here.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what I was saying too. That's why I thought that it was 3, because you got the safety on this side that's out of the picture. You got this safety that's in the center field, right? To me, he's supposed to be here. He's supposed to cover anything that gets deep here. That's why he passes him off. Now it seems like this is the only question, right? Because it seems like he's a spy on this play, right? He's obviously on the quarterback. So I'm not sure why he's dropping down to take him versus him recognizing nobody is in the flat, and so now this is not his zone.
He got caught looking in the backfield.
It seems like that in-breaking route got that you see that triangle of players, that in-breaking route broke down the triangle. Like there's some miscommunication there because everybody's feet is not moving. Like they just stopped.
Mm-hmm. They didn't. That's not assignment football. Because the thing about it, the safety should still be getting deep. He should still be getting deep, and that corner should still be getting deep. In this situation, it boils down to situational football again. If you know you got 20-some odd seconds, and you know they throwing the ball down the field,
gotta go deep. Yeah,
you just got to know where you are.
And even when the quarterback is pointing, and I don't know that he can even see the quarterback, but somebody has to know that this guy is behind this corner or behind this linebacker, and he's getting deep.
You don't even look like he's even recognizing.
He's not, Rocky, he can't even see him. His eyes is in the backfield. Instead of him just staying where he was supposed to be.
Ain't nothing in the backfield can hurt you right now.
Look, we know that.
He went there anyway, though.
Hey, we know that.
He looking.
I mean, his eyes would be better. His eyes in the backfield would be fine if he was getting deep while his eyes in the backfield.
In my opinion,
that's the issue.
No better because he's looking right at the quarterback and he's not backing up.
Well, look, the very thing in the backfield hurt him was that quarterback throwing it over top of his head. I tell you that much.
Right after he pointed.
And this is why that cornerback got burnt 11 times all year, and Cozy kept running. This play was the best thing that happened for FAMU football. It's hilarious. Hey, listen, this is why not only did they lose this game, it's also why they lost the next game, which is the next play I want to get into, right? So let's move forward. Obviously, we see that was a breakdown in the coverage there.
I don't know who's blocking for Bethune-Cookman, but it looks like Tony Baselli, Willie Rove, and
not Willie Rove.
You know what I mean? Look, they're not even touching it.
No, they're not even close. They're not even close.
Oh man! All right, let me let's look at this next game, man. Obviously, after this
play, that's what that looks like.
After this week, Cozy didn't have any better luck in the week that followed, right? RJ Johnson didn't have a great game in the last one of the season. This was against Mississippi Valley.
He said, I got one. Got a
It
safety
was
sitting
really
back.
three plays here, but this is the one that was really huge because this one out set up the go-ahead touchdown.
Back on the
And they're sitting in the house and they're trying to bubble screen and it's intercepted.
You saw they wanted to go,
by
and if you hear
Mississippi
him,
Valley State. What a
we're
play!
going to set up
Dante
the bubble
Kelly
screen,
with
but
the second
man,
interception of the
I
year.
don't
He
know.
plays the Delta back for the Delta Devils.
I'm watching
Again,
the safety go
I think that
over,
some of the best plays
and
are you
Coach
throwing the ball
Burrell
away.
is over there
Are you throwing the ball in the
drawing
dirt?
him there,
You know what I'm
drawing
saying?
him there, telling him to come over. Watch how he starts cheating over to the right side.
Not giving the man, not giving the ball away on the what is this?
Get to the right
6-yard line, 9-yard line.
and right there. Great job.
So, what are y'all thoughts on this play? I'll slow it down again. You know what I'm saying? But let me know your thoughts right here. What was he thinking? You know what I'm saying? Obviously, you understand it's third down here, right? So they were trying to maybe get something going to where they can try to pick up this first down. But he's not even close. He's not even anywhere close to the running back. You know what I'm saying? Where he throws his ball. I mean, everybody just turns and looks at him.
This play was facilitated by the center. I don't see how the center lets him run in there right over the A gap. He looks right at him. I understand they're running some type of screenplay, but he's got to get a bump on him.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the
He
center.
sure did. He didn't bump before he left.
Yeah. Go back and look at it again.
And he had an opportunity because the guy slowed up. Look at the defender. The defender slows up.
He
so
telegraphed.
He can't get him a bump. Yeah, you get your bump.
Yeah.
But he's not concerned about any contact at that point. And the quarterback makes it. The
quarterback let it sail a little bit.
I mean, I think at that point, when you're in that situation backed up like that, you can't throw it. And your best option is to try to avoid it. And if you get tackled in the end zone, you give up 2 points. But I don't think you try to throw that ball right there under those circumstances.
Well, that's why I say, some of the best plays is throwing the ball in the dirt. You know what I'm saying? Because even if you don't make it, I mean, an incomplete pass there is still better than, obviously the end result. And again, I know Brandon always say Monday morning quarterbacking. I mean, we spring quarterbacking at this point, right? You know what I'm saying?
If he makes a good throw, it's probably going to the house, though, to be honest with you.
But and that's why I also say, like, he also makes a horrible throw.
I don't think he has any. I don't think he can make a good throw. If you look
how quick the nose tackle was in there.
Back again.
I mean, the linebacker.
Look at it again. He catches the ball. He's reaching for the ball as the guy crosses the line of scrimmage. Right.
He probably
Which means he doesn't get a chance to look because he has to catch the ball. Bam. No, so right now he doesn't get a chance to look.
Mm-hmm.
He just turns over there and throws it. That's what he does. He doesn't look at who's over there.
Yeah. And I don't know if he thought he was faking anybody. He looked to the right. He made a read to the right first and then threw it back left.
When I first saw this play, in real time, I thought they were actually running a jailbreak based on where the quarterback was looking. But it doesn't look like they're running a jailbreak. It looked like they're just running a bubble. But because you see what I'm saying, how it looks like they also can throw it to this number 20 guy running across the middle, and that's where RJ originally is looking. Like, if you go back to the very beginning.
Yeah, that's what I said. He was originally looking the other way. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm curious to what was he trying to fake the defense out? Is that what he was doing? Maybe
that's what it looked like to me, because it's like he looked over there and he actually was open, but he could have dumped it off.
That was a screenplay the other way.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah,
that was just a fake, I guess.
Yeah, that was part of the action.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, that was definitely one of the the plays from this Mississippi Valley game. One of the other ones, right? He also threw one, obviously that ended the game too as well. I'll pull it up, but I want to look at the Valley touchdown, right? This is the Valley go ahead touchdown here. Pull this up too as well.
I mean, they got the ball on the 3-yard line.
I know.
Y'all trying to explain. Y'all trying to explain God's blessings to Rattler Nation. Now, this is a third down play as well, right? 3rd and goal, as you see.
So they do have that as an advantage.
Valley hadn't moved the ball at all. But man, this corner route right here.
Looking, throwing.
Good pass from Nunez.
Touchdown. Touchdown.
Too late to
Delta
bump him,
Devils.
Brandon Bell loves that.
Norris.
He is having
That's a Bell kind of catch.
Wow.
Man, I don't understand how they just let the guys just
What
run
a
the
play
routes
by
with no,
Makai Norris.
with no restriction. No,
Like
Norris
Bell
on the
said, how you
inside
gonna
again,
touch
and they're just going to do a crossing pattern, and he's just
they don't
gonna
try to
outrun
get
it.
their hand. Like, close the
Makai
distance,
Norris
get
has
your
done a
hands
lot
on the
for the
guy.
team this year, but what you know
Well,
what?
there's not a lot of guys in the SWAC that, to me, that I see from a cornerback position that, puts their hands on anybody. You know what I mean?
Right. At least throw the timing off. It's
That's
compacted
7-on-7 right there, guys. I mean, there's if you let a guy I might can catch a route if you don't touch me.
That's why I talked about earlier. Guys not rerouting guys like they should.
Mm-hmm. He was 3 yards from the end zone when they started the play.
Yeah.
And then backed up on top of it. You didn't come forward and jam him.
All
Even
right.
if you got beat, you would have threw the timing off if you would have bumped him.
And I want to look at this, the final interception that FAMU throws, and this basically ends the game right here. This one basically ends the game right here.
So
Again,
now
this
we're
is
looking at
3
third
interception
down
day for
long.
RJ Johnson.
The young quarterback, RJ Johnson, trying to
Yeah,
direct
that
the
quarterback
team
going to light up the
keep
Rattlers
this
again.
drive alive.
Blue
Here
was
comes the blitz.
Johnson with time throws, and it's intercepted
That's
again.
it.
I don't know where
It's
that was going.
intercepted again. Jamari Stokes
Yeah, that
with
guy
the
was-
interception
That guy was covered
and
up.
the Delta Devils.
I hope I don't get in trouble, but
Yeah, that guy was covered up. That guy was bracketed. I mean, he
I'm
had
not sure what he saw.
I'll play it back one more time.
After all the rivalry games were up. So now we're looking at third down and long.
Because it looks like
The young
these guys are
quarterback,
going the
RJ
wrong
Johnson,
places
trying to direct the team
pre-snap. Now
to
watch
keep
this
this drive
guy
alive.
pre-snap. Now,
Pre-snap,
for
okay.
me, pre-snap, there's no way I'm going to the other side of the side that he's throwing it to.
Mhm.
I got 1, 2 guys.
1,
Get
2,
up here
3,
real
4,
quick.
5, 6, 7.
I got just secondary guys. I have 3 secondary guys over there.
3 secondary guys over there, right?
Possibly a 4th. Over here, look what I got. It's basically man to man over here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to look like there's a safety over top right here that I just saw flash in. But I'm going to look at the other angle too. But yeah, his eyes don't even come to this side of the field.
At all.
Yeah,
And
the
it
guy's
looks-
not open.
It looks like on this side, I mean, what? You got a curl and then just
Looks like they're running all goals too.
that's a goal, right? So, I mean, it's 2 curls on each side and goes, basically, right? So then you also got to just ask about the.
Nah, double move.
Well, yeah,
SWAC ran
it
a
was
double
a
move.
double move on this
coming.
side. Yeah, let me go back.
But the safety hung over he stared him down, obviously, because the safety didn't move.
Yeah, he tried to run. That was a double move.
Almost looked like a whip he was running. Like,
Yeah, he was trying to get down the seam. Yeah,
it was a horrible route, though.
Let me pull up the other from the other side. So let me see. This is a wider view, so you guys can see. So the 2 safeties on the first down markers right here. Yeah, but I mean, like you say, it's definitely way more congested on that side.
It was 3 people right there.
You know what I mean? It's way more congested on this side than it is back on this end.
He has to overthrow it because if he doesn't overthrow it, the guy underneath it can get it. You know what I mean? He just wasn't open.
He just not open.
Yeah, he wasn't open.
Yeah, he just wasn't open. Now, I would have went ahead and I don't know what's the down and distance on this play.
Let me go back. I want to say it was. I think this is like 3rd and 13. I
It
believe.
looked like about that far. Yeah, it looked like they had lost some yards.
Let me go back. Sorry. All right, here we go. Right here. I'll be able to see it. Yeah,
Yeah, 3rd and 14.
that's 3rd and 14. So
Yeah, they're giving ground. This guy should have kept going deep. I don't know why he didn't. I don't know why he stopped his route
which
because
one? Right here.
the guy at the bottom of the screen.
Oh, right here. Because it looks like.
Go ahead.
Well, to me, it looks like 2 curls and the 2 seams look like they're running a stop and go, right? But the 2 on 2 sides is like curl routes.
But if I'm gonna throw one, I'm not gonna throw that one. I'm gonna throw it to the other guy that has nobody underneath him.
Right.
And the wide side of the field.
Yeah, and the wide side.
Let me ask you this, guys, because I don't know. Why does it seem like the quarterbacks are looking boundary first in just the plays we've been watching? It seems like they're not looking at the coverage; they're just looking into the boundary every time.
That's what my question was earlier, right? When we looked at the
it just may be the read. It just may be the read that they taught.
But see, that goes back to, and then so somebody
it's a certain
asked the question
progression
about
they have to go through. Most of the time, like we see in the back end of it, but there's certain reads that they have to go through to your check, to your 1, to your 2. So it's a lot of things, a lot of moving parts that are pretty much happening right in front of our eyes that we really can't really. We really don't know what's going on unless you down there on the sideline. Because you could have a coach say, "Hey, listen, throw it over here in this situation." Because we had stuff like that happen when KJ was there. It was pretty much almost like, "Hey, you your first read. If your first read ain't there, instead of you going to your second read, go to your third read."
Because this is pretty good blocking right here.
So that's the thing that we talked about it earlier about coaching things and all that stuff, right? How would it? I guess I would want to know, right? If this was, again, you got quarterbacks that make bad throws in every conference, right? So it ain't right. To me, it ain't got to do with like the throw or the decision that's made. People make bad decisions in every conference. What I'm saying is, what would be taught in another conference of how quarterback should mentally go through this play is what my question would be, right? You know what I'm saying? Because I hear like Bill, you saying, well, you know, when they see this, like, hey, I want you to go here.
Here.
How is that taught in another scenario, another situation, for example, right? You know what I'm saying? Because the reality is, like Rocky said earlier, that guy just ain't open in the first place, right? But to me, it's like, what's the pre-snap? How are we teaching them to go through from a pre-snap standpoint? Because to me, based on what the defense shows you, even if when we coming out the huddle, this is supposed to be my number one, does it not change based on what the defense is showing me?
The way I understand a lot of things, right, is that guys are able to identify coverage and convert routes based on coverage.
Right.
Like for instance, in my opinion, the guy on the inside, once they see they're in the cover 2, right, this guy on the inside, and they have the linebacker bailing down the seam, this guy should convert this route to a corner. If he converts it to a corner, it's a drop in the bucket, wide open throw.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but, you know, he takes it up the field, and it looked like he still might have been open if he'd just held on to the ball. But, you know,
you got time.
But the problem is, in my opinion, the biggest problem with this is he's looking in a confined area, which is the boundary, and he's looking at 4 defenders guarding 2 wide receivers.
Right.
In my mind, that just can't be the default read based on that defensive alignment. I just don't see how that can be the default read, because you have numbers on the other side of the field.
Yeah.
And he probably didn't go. You can look at it. He didn't go through his progression.
Yeah.
He didn't
had
go through his
time.
progression.
Yeah, he just stared down one guy for sure.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that to me, that goes to like again, what is the
A
conversation?
lot of
Because
it, like I said,
I
man,
feel
it's
like I've
hard to
heard, I
tell
feel
in
like
certain
I've heard that
situations like
before.
this. Yeah, on the right side they have numbers, but on the well, I'm talking about the top left. I'm sorry, on the left they have numbers,
hmm
but on the right, like I say, man, it's one of those things where, like, I just use us for example. When we came to the line, we are because we watched so much film, we already knew what situation we were in 9 times out of 10 at looking what alignment were. We already knew what checks. We knew if the guy lined up on the outside of me, based upon this particular
Right.
route, I knew that I was going inside. I knew if this guy was loud shaded on the inside of me, I already understood what the situation was going to be. Also understood that whatever the play was called, my assignment was to do what it was I was supposed to do, and that was not to be selfish and do the opposite because there's something else that's probably coming behind me or coming in front of me. That's like smash. Smash concept is a hitch and you got a corner. But if I don't run my smash, if I don't run that hitch, then guess what? Now I mess it up for the corner that's
Then you
coming.
running somebody underneath that
Yeah.
corner route.
Exactly.
Right.
So we think about that. Think about when we played Grambling that year. We beat Grambling in 2009. Well, we didn't scored in that corner. I was on the field. My job was to make sure that that corner stayed out of the way because it was a tight window that KJ had to throw it. So, of course, I beat my man. But if I run a go route, now I run into Whedon.
You'd have been back there, yeah, where Whedon was.
So there are checks for pretty much everything you got going on, but it's also based upon your coach.
But and also you said it
That's
earlier
what it
too.
boils
It
down
also
to,
could be
is
based
based
upon
upon
the
your
fact
coach.
that sometimes you do tell them what to do and they just don't do it. That also the caveat too. Sometimes,
and let's be honest, sometimes the route combinations run right into the coverage. Like that's a real thing. Sometimes they have the right coverage for the right route combination. You know what I mean?
actual factual.
Yeah, you know. So in this case, the only thing that I see that they may have done a little clever in this is they made the slot guy look open, but they're buzzing the linebacker out up under him. You know what I mean? To take away any short throw. And that's the guy that's kind of like running over the top of him. You know what I mean? They're buzzing him under the top of him. But in my opinion, you just keep running that guy down the field, and he gonna run out of real estate if the quarterback has a big enough arm. Because you're gonna have an angle on the line. A linebacker should not be able to keep up with a slot that far down the field.
Or we could just chalk it up. There was a bad play call.
Yeah,
bad play call.
Yeah, for that coverage, yeah, bad play call.
Absolutely, but they were in a desperate situation too. So the quarterback may have felt he needed to.
Yeah, he said, "Y'all got me playing the gospel song. Won't he do it in the background?"
But I also think that goes to show something, and I'm gonna get off after I say this, is that just being soundly coached in this conference, in my opinion, makes you a championship level team. Like that's what I think last year with Prairie View showed. Once they got their bearings about them and they were able to just execute in critical situations, play situational football, be very disciplined, they were a championship football team without any, in my opinion, without any remarkable stars or overwhelmingly talented individuals on the team. Now, as they get more talented, it could be a problem, Lana, for the entire SWAC. Because like Coach Jackson said, this is the cheapest team we ever gonna have. This is,
it's gonna be a problem. It's definitely gonna be a problem.
I hate this play, but I gotta stay on and watch this.
This play right here, man.
We got 2 plays left. We got this play in the game, the one against Jackson and Prairie in the chapter game. So that's the last 2 plays.
This is a bad call, man. In this situation, this is a bad call.
Has not been able to run the ball.
Why don't you like this call? Because I believe when even on your show with Coach Cole, if I'm not mistaken, maybe I'm remembering it wrong, right? I thought Coach Cole kind of explained why he believed the offensive coordinator would have called this play to the boundary, but go ahead.
They run up
I
the
thought it
middle.
was too
They
tight.
not have
Let me just run through it.
Explain the concept.
On the 2-yard
The
line.
opposite said he wouldn't have ran this play.
Here it is. Body splits it over. Jackson State holds on.
And that's ball game, man. Listen, that determined who got to the championship game right there. I'm gonna run it again.
It sure did.
But what would you guys' thoughts on this one?
I'm just not sure I would have ran that to the short side.
So you don't have a problem with the play though on this one.
Oh, I hate the play.
I don't know. See, that play, I would have probably ran a sprint out right with the wide side of the field because they were trying to bring pressure. I just think you could have got somebody behind the linebacker, the outside linebacker.
Scotty called this real time, and Scotty said, "Hey, number 5 is going to be wide open because he's seen him run it previously in the season. He's going to come wide open, and he was. If you watch number 5,
Yeah,
he's going to be wide butt ass naked open.
Well, so and his
Yeah,
I was gonna mention that, right? To me, his reaction makes me feel like was this like did they give him an option, right? You know what I'm saying, of what they could do? Because it almost looked to me like he was kind of almost shocked.
Those were real routes that they were running over there.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So the running back looked confused already, right? You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna show it from the backside, right? But or from the wide angle, but it looked like he was confused. Like, you know what I mean? Almost like, why did you make the decision to do that versus, to come here, for example, right? You know what I mean?
So what Coach Cole said, if I recall correctly, Coach Cole said Andrew took the wrong angle if they were running an option.
He should have ran straight at the linebacker here, right?
Yeah. If they were running some type of quarterback power, the running back should have kicked out the guy. You understand? And you understand? Like if they were really, to me,
yeah, he's sideways.
They're not running an option.
Yeah. He got to make him make a decision. He needs to make the edge guy make a decision.
Oh, the running back got to block him.
Well, no. You're saying if they run a QB power.
Yes.
I'm saying if it's an option, if it's a true option play, he's going to run at the linebacker and make him make a decision.
I played a little running back in middle school. Anybody that's getting the ball is not releasing the way the running back release. Go back.
Mm.
But I still say that short side of the field, the boundary became an extra defender.
So first off, you got to give ground if you're getting the ball as the running back.
He looks back. I mean, it's so confusing.
I think to the wide side, he would have beat the guy to the corner.
Maybe possibly, but you know what I'm saying? But then the alignment may look completely different from Jackson's standpoint, too, though.
And this is the other, and I'm gonna say this, guys. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. If I have to run a play like this, I'm not gonna run it Quincy Acey. I'm not. Was he SWAC Defensive Player of the Year?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Huh?
Look at it from there. Yeah. No, I'm with you. I'm with you.
I'm not running right to him on that one.
I'm not running at him.
He played it so well too.
He sure did.
He didn't have nobody blocking him. How could he not?
But the running back looks. The running back looks back like he's supposed to get the ball. Like, let's see how he turns his head.
He did turn back. Yeah.
I can't.
It's just poor it's really just poor execution though, and too as well. So.
Wow.
I think it also may have been a bad. It could have been a bad check by Andrew, but I wouldn't have ran that play. I don't like that call. If that's the option Andrew was given right there, I don't like it.
That's also that's also what I feel too, is that, you know, it also looks like I say, the routes were real routes. So it also could be that he could have said, we're gonna go with these one-on-ones we got, you know, to the wide side and see what we can do, right? So this is the last play, and then we're gonna get out of here. Just the one to win the championship game, basically put the game over here. And it was one missed tackle right there. But obviously, big run.
It looked like he ran some type of slant. The quarterback was patient to let the slant unfold. And he just walked down the yardage.
Yeah, and to me, it looked like it was specifically supposed to be. It was supposed to be, you know, QB draw, right? I mean, and really all game, really, when you remember the game when you play it back, Cam had been patient, you know, all the time, and you know, allowed plays to develop, you know, at the right time throughout this whole game, right? You know what I mean? And so, to me, this is just another example of that, right? You know what I'm saying? He takes his drive. You can see
why did this one guy take an inside?
You're talking about the D end.
Defensive end?
Not the D end, the guy that's in what would be the C gap. He comes over, instead of staying in the C gap, he goes inside to the B gap. Watch it.
Or did he get pushed to the B gap?
Well, I think he ran in there.
No, he tried to make a move.
Look at him. He runs in there.
Okay, he was trying to make a okay.
That's you know, that's the flip side of what they did against
Grambling.
Instead of both of them run outside, this guy himself by running inside.
Sure did. I see it now.
Yeah.
You know, speaking about the Alabama State play, he said play is fine. The fact you're into the short side of the field, you turn into a triple option another way. Body can keep it, pitch to run back. I thought the route. And I'm gonna say, listen, one thing you notice with Alabama State, one of the plays that just got on my nerves, right, was they always had that like triple option play for Andrew, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where he can hand the ball off, he can pull it and run with it, and even off the run, he could either just throw it off the run, right, keeping it. He could also throw right behind the linebacker that drops down.
I wish you would have ran the play where Andrew got hurt, because I would have liked to have seen, you know, was there some other option Andrew could have taken it rather than trying.
You talking about the play he got hurt in the PV game?
Yeah.
I can pull it up. Give me a second. I'll pull it up. But also we'll see that he didn't score a touchdown in that play too. By the way.
Yeah, I was gonna say they didn't.
I want to make that clear too right now. But let me pull that up though. Give me a second to pull that one up.
They're supposed to review all scoring plays, and they didn't review that. They went straight to the extra point.
Well, he got hurt. That's why. So,
but he definitely didn't. It bounced into the end zone. Should have been a fumble recovery.
The ball bounced in the end zone?
Yeah. And it was recovered, I think, by the linebacker.
It was excitement and pandemonium at that point. In the game.
It was insane. It was insane.
All right, I think I found that. Yeah, I found it. All right, it looked like it was a broken play. To be honest, let me pull it up real quick, and then we're gonna get going after this. Say what's going on? How you doing, sir? Welcome to the stream.
Hey, say
what's up, everybody? How's everybody doing?
Doing good, everybody. Y'all can see that, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So yeah, this is the play he got hurt on. It looked like it was a broken play.
Oh, stop right there. Is that some type of what do they call it? Unbalanced line? That ain't an unbalanced line, is it? Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Go ahead.
I think they got the tight end.
No, that's an unbalanced line.
Oh no, yeah. Okay. No, that's the tight end right there. Let me go back.
No, that's an unbalanced line. When that guy came in motion, that's an unbalanced line.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I see it.
Yeah, right there.
I don't know what he's supposed to do.
Hurt right there. That wasn't the play Andrew got hurt. That wasn't Andrew, was it?
This is the play he got hurt. This is the play that he scored the touchdown on.
They handed it off to him?
No, it looks like he was supposed to hand it off. I don't know what was happening. It like it's a broken play.
Yeah,
Like he ran into the running back and then just like I don't know. It looked like maybe it was miscommunication basically. Maybe the running back thought he was getting the ball, and Andrew maybe looked like he maybe thought it was QB power or something because the way he grabbed it. So I don't know. It definitely miscommunication though, for sure. I'll run it back. See how they run into each other?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't have the angle on the goal line though.
No. It really looked pretty much like a really nondescript play. You know what I mean? I don't know that. Did you guys see where he put himself like in?
I just think when he went on the goal line, right, and he got tackled, and then the ball came out. Somebody I think probably just jumped on the ball.
He tried to stretch it out.
Yeah,
he
somebody.
You saw him reach the ball
fell
out
on his shoulder. Yeah.
You should probably see it here. You can't see it there.
The ball was gone, and then they fell on his. It really was the same fumble they gave to Cam in the championship game when he stretched out. You know, he hadn't broken the plane.
Hey, what were you guys thinking when y'all was up 21-0?
Reaching out right there. See, he reached out right there. You saw him reach out.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, but anyway, go ahead.
What was y'all thinking when y'all were up 21-0?
Oh, that is the championship.
I know I was shocked. I was shocked.
I don't know why. You must have been watching PV all season.
No, I think at this time. So this was like when we really started.
Y'all have been struggling. Y'all have been struggling, bro.
So this was when we really started to get rolling, right? So at this point in the season, right? So I think for me, it wasn't necessarily. I don't think it was a shock. It was like, okay, finally we putting it together, right? Because I felt like we had saw sparks that we could. What we did at the end of the year, I feel like we saw sparks from the offense throughout early in the year, but they never put it together, right? They had yet to like finally make it mesh and come all the way together. And this was the first game we start to see like, okay, the ability is there, and then you start to see it the rest of the weeks, right? Alabama A&M after that, UAPB Valley, et cetera, right? You know what I'm saying? But this was the game that really was, to me, the spark to kind of really start to see like, oh yeah, we have the ability to actually go down, move the ball, and score. And we moved the ball the whole game, right? It was the 4 turnovers. You got to remember, two of the interceptions were like we were in the red zone. You know what I'm saying? Like we were moving the ball the whole game against Alabama State. It really was the 4 interceptions that like threw this game to the left, right? You know what I'm saying? So that's how I felt. I felt like, okay, finally we're putting it together because it's like I seen it here, I seen a piece there. It was like, bro, we just needed all to just gel at one time, and we're gonna be straight. And it finally started gelling.
Yeah, they could not stop the run in this game. I would probably say the Southern game. And the reason why I said that, Rocky, was that if you watched us at the end of the season, the momentum was just building and building and building. Every game, our confidence in the stretch, the amount of distance between what we were winning, the amount of yards that we were putting up, those last 3-4 games of the season, I would say from Southern homecoming all the way up to the SWAC championship, it was one after another. So I wasn't surprised going into the Celebration Bowl, especially seeing the amount of time that they had off. We came right in. We didn't have a break.
Weren't y'all coming out the Alcorn game on this game right here?
No, I think this is after Lincoln. I think this was after Lincoln, the Lincoln game. So we had, I think it was Alcorn, then we had Southern, Lincoln, and then this Alabama State game.
So happy homecoming. This was after happy homecoming.
This is definitely after happy homecoming. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you guys had some confidence coming into this game. So, but I mean, we thought. I thought Southern was a bad team. So the win, what y'all did to Southern on that day, that wasn't surprising at all. I mean, I didn't think that was out the realm of possibility. But when I looked at this and saw that y'all were up 21-0 on Alabama State, I was like, oh my goodness. Now the way that Alabama State came back in this game was kind of as shocking too. You know what I mean? Because it was tied up pretty quick, and then it was a dogfight the rest of the game. But it was a great.
I mean, the biggest shock was that they ran the ball really well. I think that was just the biggest shock to me was because I think they went over 200. This game they ran for like low 200, like maybe 210 or something like that. So that was the biggest thing, right? Was because they were able to run the ball, they were able to. That's really what allowed them to get back in the game. That's what allowed them to get the lead and still kind of hold on to that lead as we were kind of clawing to get back in the game. But like I said, I knew we had the ability to be better offensively. It was us dropping the passes, right? Again, we led the SWAC in drops. Us and Texas Southern both had 30 drops last year. It's crazy. You think about Cam himself had 24 drops. You think about if we catch half of those passes, Cam goes to over 3,000 yards. You know what I'm saying? Passing. You know what I'm saying? So, that's just drops, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, so it changes the narrative too, right? Because even in the Grambling State game, when Tevin Carter's quarterback, Rodney Ojo just dropped a flat out wide open touchdown. It would have been a 55-yarder. So the narrative early on too was a lot was on us because we just didn't make a play that was there. It's not like the play wasn't there. Go ahead. The play wasn't there. We just literally dropped touchdowns for them.
What got me is I kind of knew how good RG, that team was based on the players they had got. Like that quarterback they had, I knew he was legit. You know what I mean?
Oh, he made some throws for sure.
And so I knew it. And then I want to say the game that I started thinking, I'm not sure, was that Alcorn game. I'm like, oh, what is this? You know what I mean? I wasn't.
Alcorn always been for us, Alcorn always been a fight. This is what they've been, especially in Alcorn.
Yeah,
they just always been pesky. They always been fight. Look at them at Jackson State. You don't remember when Travis Huntington was there? That game was a close. They didn't blow out Alcorn. So Alcorn has always just been just a team that's just tough. They are grinded out type of team, right? So to me, it wasn't as shocking, right? You know what I'm saying? It was just again, we didn't make plays that was there. That was the main thing. All our games, the game that was close. The Texas Southern game, we outgained them by almost 200 yards, right? You know what I'm saying? It was on us with penalties, right? You look at the UTRGV game, right? You know what I'm saying? We fumbled the ball on that last drive. We could. So when I look back, it wasn't like, man, none of these games was like we didn't get in our own way. That's why when we finally got out of our own way, we saw what happened. So to me, that's definitely
I thought y'all got in y'all way in the UTGR.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, we did.
I thought that was one of them games where y'all were ultimately the better team. Y'all just didn't pull it out based on your miscues, and it almost seemed like y'all were just battling against yourself the whole game. And I think if statistically y'all kind of leveled the game out and maybe even won the game statistically when you look at it. But no, man, I just watching Prairie View last season was really you watched a team build something brick by brick each and every week. And once they I wasn't sure they were going to beat Jackson State, but I knew they had a chance to win, a better chance to win than any other team who had played in Jackson for the championship. I knew they were better than either one of the Prairie View teams that played, and I knew they were better than either one of the Southern teams who had played for the championship the last 4 years. I thought they had a shot, man. So.
Well, man, I appreciate all you guys for jumping on. Emmett, appreciate you, man, for showing some love. That's what the goal is. We got a lot of content that we want to come out with. We want to do a lot more shows like this. We're really breaking down some film. Obviously, we're going to bring on some more guys who obviously are coaches or former players like B-Bell, et cetera, who really know the game from a different standpoint. So they can kind of, think about it from a different standpoint. So that's what we're looking to do. So if you enjoyed it, man, then definitely go ahead and lock in. I know I've seen you here before as well, right? But if you guys have any thoughts on what you want to see, any kind of highlights or film breakdowns that you guys want to see more of, then definitely let me know, because that's definitely something that that obviously we're trying to do. But man, Bill, Carrie, Sid, man, before y'all head out, man, any last words y'all got just from and about last year, and just just the whole season as a whole, man, and how it went with the SWAC.
I'll let one secret out. One of the running backs that tore us up in that against the Bees resides at Prairie
Where
View.
he at though? Where he at though?
Yeah, Prairie View.
I would say,
Where he
man,
at?
I'm proud of where we are. I'm proud of the way that we're trending. I'm also glad that I'm glad that we have and this is no shade to any other coaches, because we've had great coaches here. But we're just in a different era right now, and we just have a different regime right now. I'm excited about the way that we're trending. I'm excited about the mentality that our players have taken on from their coaches. There's a saying that players take on the mentality of their head coach, but I think we have a legitimate staff with players who are hungry and who want to lay it on the line for one another. A lot of people get excited about the different star players or star power that they have and the names that come along with it, but people have to really think about last season and think about last season, and also look at exactly how many guys we had who were considered no names. Nobody knew who they were until they showed up and went to work on Saturdays. So we got a lot of good players, man. We got a lot of new firepower that's coming along. I'm not gonna say too much on that. We still got some pieces that we're adding to the team, but man, I'm excited about where we're going as a program. I'm excited about the mentality, and man, I'm just excited. I'm just excited, man. Man, to go back and repeat again.
Yes.
Yeah, I hate.
I'm definitely excited for that. Yeah, go ahead, Sid.
What was that said?
No, I was gonna say I hate Rocky left, because I was gonna definitely hit him, because when I left this show the other day and I did my part in words, I had to hit that button on him for him. When I played that, he cut me off the stream. He was like, "Your last part in words," but I squeaked it out of there. I was gonna make him hear it this time, but he got up out of here.
That's hilarious.
But on a still on a high note, I'm excited too. Much like Brandon, I feel like I'm playing a game of spades. I'm sitting here Trump tight. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of aces in my hand. I got a lot of high spades in my hand. And I'm just chilling. I got my spades face on. I'm talking noise. I know I got a good hand. I just got to play it out. I don't want to talk too much and talk across the board. And I can see my partner knows I got a good hand, and that's all I got to do. Just got to play this out. And that's what I see coming forth for this season. I see a lot of good things coming forth. I can't wait till you do more shows on key in players, and once we get into summer camp, and then really once we get in the fall, we can really start talking about players. We won't have to kind of hide our hand. We can really kind of poke our chest about what we got walking into the season. So that's what I'm excited about. And can you believe we're just in May and we're like disengaged with football? Normally this has all been downtime. We never been talking about football in May. We've been waiting till like July for SWAC Media Day, and everybody's dusting off their microphones and now trying to get re-engaged into SWAC football. So it's just amazing seeing how this has been a 24/7, 365, kind of engagement as a fan from coaches and all the way around. And if you're not on that, I think a lot of teams are just kind of getting left behind. But I won't make it a sermon, but I'm excited as a PV fan.
Yeah. And shout out to our returning players, because like you guys said, what they brought in, a lesser player would run from this competition, because the team is a lot more competitive, from the kicker to the meat eaters to the running backs, quarterbacks. Everybody has to compete. And if you're a returning player and see these FBS transfers coming in, say you're 6'3", 300-pound offensive lineman, but you see this 6'6", 335-pound FBS guy come in, the natural tendency is like, shoot, there's no way that dude benching 500 pounds. I can't beat him. Instead, you dig in and stay. That reminds me of old school people, like, because I'm old school people like me. We didn't have nowhere to go. So we stayed there and fought it out. We didn't have a choice to just tuck our tail and run. So I just want to say shout out to our returning players. Much love to you guys. I see you out there grinding and not giving up. So good luck to you on the upcoming season.
No, for sure. And yeah, I'm going through now, man, putting together the list. And so we're all gonna have a show soon where we kind of just talk about, you know, the current roster, you know what I'm saying? And kind of go through and just check out the guys on the current roster. So we will talk about that. Obviously, there's always going to be a guy too that pops up. We already know, you know what I mean, how Coach Jackson and them do. You know what I mean? We show up for fall and it's like, man, who is that? Who 15 is again? Like, you know what I'm saying? Oh,
don't know who the team is till
we're adding somebody that nobody knew about, right? You know what I'm saying? So we know we're gonna have maybe one or two of those as well. But I love the fact that we had a lot of the guys in there doing spring ball this year, man, because as Coach Jackson said, you got to think, man, and obviously there's no shade to nobody, right? But there's multiple programs in this conference that they're losing the ability to have spring ball. So you're talking about last year and how it took us time to get the offense rolling, right? Well, we didn't have the guys in the spring.
Nope.
You know, had some of the guys in the summer and got all the guys in the fall. So it took us some time to get going. Well, now, not only do we have a boatload of the guys, almost all the guys are going to be there in the fall, were there in the spring, but also guess what? We got a lot of returning guys.
Yep.
You're talking about an offensive line. Look, if you look at those first couple games last year, the offensive line was still being put together. We're still trying to figure out what was the formula offensive line wise, right? And now when you end the season again, we're gonna have a show on this talking about SWAC offensive lines too. But man, we look at the top 10 offensive linemen that's returning from this year, bro. Like 3-4 of the guys are on our team who are the top run blockers in the SWAC last year. So now think about this. You're talking about, you know, a guy like Tevin Carter who can use his legs. Obviously, you got to be fearful for what he can do. But, bro, you got an offensive line that can move you out the way, and you got running backs that can see the hole and make it move.
Whew.
Come on, man. Like, I think earlier on this year, no matter who the quarterback is who wins that job, we're going to score a lot more points early on this year than we did last year. And I think that's the thing that people need to be worried about, people need to be afraid of, because we have the most. This is the crazy thing, right? People talk about the 70 transfer like that, but the reality is, though, we still got the highest number of returners in this conference who done played snaps, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even though we got a lot of guys coming in as new. So they're to let you know, bro, what is it going to be this year then with all the returners? Because we don't talk about the returners, just talk about how all these guys coming in the portal. But, bro, you not really understand what's going on. So we're gonna talk about that though. We're gonna have a show where we really break down the rosters, right? And not just preview roster, right? We're gonna have other shows where we break down other teams' rosters too. You know what I'm saying? Because when we deep dive, and y'all know how we did last year, we really deep dive. We're gonna look at every single program in the SWAC, every program that we gotta face this year, East Texas A&M, Tarleton State, Stephen F. Austin, right? I ain't spending no time with Baylor. Right. If that miracle happened, I'm just gonna enjoy it like everybody else. All right, you know what I'm saying? But we're gonna spend some time on all these programs and see what they got going on, what they didn't. So even if you from another program, you're gonna be able to learn about your own program. You know what I'm saying? Because we're gonna really deep dive into all the programs and talk about what they done transferred in, what they transferred out, right? Who their top returners are, so we can know what we facing as the year comes in. And we're gonna talk about our guys too, right? Because we got to make sure that this year those guys get the recognition that they deserve, because, you know, we missed a couple guys from getting some All-SWAC honors or some All-American honors, and we know there's a popularity contest. So we gotta start early by keep putting those names out, so that way other people know the names too as well. But with that said, man, make sure y'all locked in. Hey, if you have not subscribed to the channel, you know what I'm saying, please show some love. You know what I'm saying? Please show some who would take that shot at him. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a shot. I ain't shooting no shots. I'm just saying some people gonna be really in the books in the spring. We gonna give you time to do some studying, because you ain't gonna be doing no field work. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But the point is though, right? You know what I mean? You know, we gotta lock in, man. So if you have not subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Again, you know, we're gonna be. This is PV versus everybody, so everything is from a Prairie perspective. But again, we got some great stuff coming through that I think everybody in the SWAC is gonna enjoy. That you're gonna feel like, man, you got something out of. You know, as you see, you know, we're able to get access to some all 22 film for all the schools in this conference. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to be looking at some film, doing some breakdowns. We're going to be talking about top returners, man, looking at some film on them. And we're going to be doing the deep dive sessions, right? And also, if you're a member of the channel, you already know, man, we're starting the deep dive sessions too as well. We did a deep dive session on Tevin Carter. We got deep dive sessions coming up on a lot of other returners as well. So again, make sure you lock in. It only costs like $3 a month or something like that. It don't really cost nothing. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But it goes far because listen, a lot of the stuff that behind the scenes, you know what I'm saying, we got to have access to and pay for. It helps toward those things, you know, so we can keep giving you really good quality content. So if you want to be a member, go ahead and lock in with the membership because we got some more stuff coming for y'all on that end of things as well. So with that said, man, we appreciate each and every one of you, you know what I'm saying, and we're going to get about your hair, man.
Hey you guys, this is Jeff McKissick, your favorite loan officer.
It's your boy Lionel, class of 2009, back with another episode of The Home Team. And we're there Chicago title because we just actually finished closing a client today.
And you want to know the results, we got them to clear to close in less than 21 days. And we know working with HBCU graduates, there are all different types of professions out there.
And there's many of us all over the Houston area, and we just want to make sure that we all have a place that we all can call home.
And we got plenty of programs to cover all the different professions. So make sure you hit up your boy, Mansions by Lionel.
And don't delay. Talk with Jeff today and see if you can get home tomorrow. Holla at y'all.
Take it easy.
Some traditions are built overnight. They're built in the quiet morning before the lights turn on. Built in preparation, built in discipline, built in commitment. At TLN Family and Cosmetic Dentistry, we believe care should be built the same way. One patient at a time, one family at a time, one smile at a time. Because excellence isn't accidental, it's intentional. And that's why we're proud to stand behind one of the greatest traditions in college football. A rivalry defined by pride, fueled by legacy, and carried by generations. The 2026 Labor Day Classic, where preparation meets opportunity, where tradition meets the future. TLN Family and Cosmetic Dentistry, the official sponsor of the 2026 Labor Day Classic, built to last.